Hey, what's up guys? Handsome Jack Boy here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys another 5 things you probably didn't know about Borderlands 1. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now, this first one actually has to do with Earl's best friend, Scrappy. So a lot of you probably already know this, but if you've completed the mission Earl's best friend and have gotten to the point in the game, I think it's like basically once you reach the Crimson Fastness, and you come back to Crazy Earl's Scrapyard, Scrappy will be all grown up and you can actually fight him. But something a lot of you probably didn't know is that if you complete that mission and you come back here before getting to the Crimson Fastness, basically while Scrappy is in pup form, you can actually lure the Skags in here to fight Scrappy, and Scrappy can actually die. And if Scrappy does die, he'll drop a lot of money, and I mean more than you really even think, like a surprising amount of money. And he'll also, at least from the few runs that I tried this, because he does respawn, by the way, after if you let him die. But over the few runs that I tried this, he did drop a 100% guaranteed artifact. So this could potentially be like a good way to farm artifacts early on in the game, or at least at this point in the game. But props to Sleep Master. He was actually the one to bring this to my attention over on our Discord server. Which, by the way, if you're not on our Discord server, you should definitely check it out. The server essentially focuses a lot on Borderlands 1 related stuff. So if that interests you, you should join. The link's in the description. Yes, that is a shameless plug. But anyway, let's move on. Now this one actually has to do with the original E3 2008 trailer for Borderlands 1. Where you can see, the Vault Hunters are basically going through Crom's Canyon, or a variation of Crom's Canyon. And basically at the end of the trailer, they run into Crom, and you'll notice that Crom is holding what appears to be some weird object. And in this case, it was actually supposed to be the Vault Key. But obviously that's not how the Vault Key looks in the actual game. So one may ask, like, well, what does this, have to do with anything? But this object, this unused Vault Key, actually does make an appearance in the game, or at least makes a couple different appearances in the game. And one of these is in the Underdome. So if you go to the Underdome and you look behind where the bank is, if you look back there, you can actually see right in plain sight the unused Vault Key, which is just insane. It was basically just there in our face all along. Because I'm sure 99% of us have not seen this, or, even, batted an eye. Like we didn't even think there was anything significant about this weird object, right? Because I'm sure a lot of our attention was actually focused on the other stuff, in the background, like all the different loot that you can't get to, right? Not this random metal object just sticking out of this barrel. But it actually does have significance, which is just really interesting. I find that super cool. And another place you can find this unused Vault Key is, surprisingly, in your artifact menu. So if you look at your artifacts, you're probably like, what the hell are you talking about? But as you can see, there's a little icon next to each one of them. And that icon is of the unused Vault Key. Crazy, I know. Now, something a lot of you probably know at this point is that in the vanilla game, you only fight one type of crabworm. I mean, obviously in the Nox DLC, Cromrax was introduced, and there's different variations of crabworms, right? But in the vanilla game, there's only one type, and that is the larva crabworm. But what if I told you there was actually supposed to be another type of crabworm, the adult crabworm? And what I'm talking about is, if you look in the Game of the Year edition guide for this game, and you go to where you can find all the enemies and stuff, it'll show you under the the crabworm section that there is another type, or at least there's supposed to be, But this obviously does not appear in the game at all. But it is actually in the game's file. So credit goes to Sleep Master once again, but he actually did restore this into the game. As you can see, this is a screenshot from him basically showing this thing off in the game. It's just really cool. I wish, it wasn't actually cut content. I wish they were still something that you can fight. Same with the other cut enemy types that I've covered before. Like the badass drifters and whatnot. That'd be really awesome. I wish that was a thing, man. But anyway, let's move on. Now, this is something I didn't even know about until today. And credit goes to Blue Knight for pointing this out. But as some of you may know, the AI controlled vehicles that you fight in the vanilla game, like the runners, if you tip them over with your own car, or just in general, like if you just tip them over, the inhabitants of the vehicle will actually all jump out, right? And they'll try to flip the vehicle back over and get in. But if there happens to be a psycho and you're also driving a vehicle, this psycho has a chance of boarding your vehicle and blowing up, which, as you can see in this clip, is exactly what happened to me as I was trying this. And I was absolutely amazed. I've never seen this before in my life. It's got to be like a really, really hard thing to come across, which is why I don't think, most people have even seen this or even know about this, because like I said, I didn't even know about this until today. I've never had this happen before until I actually tried to, intentionally flip these cars over and for these psychos to get out and board my car. I didn't think that was a thing. So yeah, crazy stuff. Now for this last thing, I honestly have no idea how obscure or, unknown this is within the Borderlands community, but I figured it was obscure enough to warrant me covering this at least once on my channel. And that is the hidden chests that you cannot actually reach within the armory in the Nox DLC. Now, what I'm talking about is that if you go into the armory, and you go to the top floor, at this very corner where there's like 4 chests kind of in a circle, and you look through this fence, as you can see, there are chests back there that you cannot actually get to. They're just kind of out of the map. And these chests, even if you did get over there, they are not something that you can even interact with. I think they're basically just kind of there for looks, and it's just very weird. I don't know how many, like I said, I don't know how many people know about this, but I just think it's very fascinating. That there's just these random chests that are kind of hidden, tucked out of the map for like no apparent reason. Because if you just look even to the left, where these chests are, like into the rest of the outside of the map that you can't get to, there's no other chests out there. It's just these 3 chests that are inaccessible. So there you go, guys. That is 5 obscure and interesting things you probably didn't know about Borderlands, or at least hopefully. Let me know in the comments if you guys actually knew about any of these. I'm definitely curious to know. And yeah, with all that being said, I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.